topic is components of load torque. So load torque TL can be further divided into three types: friction torque TF, windage torque TW, torque required to do the useful mechanical work TL. So one by one we will see. What is friction torque? Friction torque is present at the shaft and also in the various parts of the load. TF is equivalent value of various friction torques refer to the motor shaft. Second is a windage torque. So when motor runs, wind generates a torque opposing the motion, and this is called as a windage torque TW. Torque required to do the useful mechanical work TL. So nature of this torque depend on particular applications. It may be constant and independent of speed, okay, like a gravitational force. It may be some function of speed. It may be depend on position and path followed by the load. It may be the time variant or invariant. It may be cyclic, and its nature may be depend on modes of operation. So depend on all these factors, the mechanical work, useful mechanical work torque TL is depend. So first type we have seen friction torque. So that friction torque is again divided into some three parts: viscous friction torque TV, Coulomb friction TC, standstill torque TS. So what is the viscous friction torque? Viscous friction torque varies linearly with the speed, or the torque which is vary linearly with the speed is called as a viscous torque. So in a figure, see in the figure number B, see here, this on a y axis omega m speed is given, on a x axis torque is given, TV is start from origin and linearly it is increasing TV. So as this torque will get increase as the omega m will get increase, okay. Then next is your TC. TC is nothing but the torque which is independent of speed. So this is the independent of speed. As there is a change in a speed, there is a no change in a torque. Torque value is constant. So it is a independent of speed. Like if we take an example of a crane or hoist, not example of hoist, gravitational force is there. Then if the gravitational force is there, then what will happen? As speed increases, the gravitational force will not be changed. Okay, so this is the straight line which is parallel to the omega m axis. Next, and one more thing, this TC Coulomb friction is nothing. TS. TS is the standstill torque, additional torque present at the standstill condition, okay, but it is not taken into account during the dynamic calculation because it is present only during the starting. So for that purpose, only during the starting, speed is from here to here, the torque is present, okay, and that is due to standstill condition. Because suppose the traction load is there, train is at a standstill condition, we have to work so hard, therefore there is a standstill torque is present. So this TV is equal to linearly proportional with omega m. V is the viscous friction coefficient, TC is a constant independent of speed torque, and standstill torque is present during the starting condition. Now this windage torque is proportional to the omega m square, okay, speed square, and C is the constant for that, for the wind torque. Then total load if we calculate, then this TL is nothing but useful mechanical work or torque required to do the useful mechanical work, and the BWM, it is nothing but the TV, and this TC will add again C omega square, which is nothing but the windage torque we are adding over here. So this is your total, all loads are here, all loads we are considering here. See these two terms, TC plus C omega square is very small in all applications. in almost all applications. That's why we are neglecting this. So your equation will be TL is equal to capital TL load torque useful torque plus windage torque is present. Okay, so now motor has to work to supply the dynamic torque. Dynamic torque is nothing but the torque is which is only present during the dynamic condition. So this is the dynamic torque equation, J d omega m dt, okay, plus the torque required to be done while useful mechanical work, and the next is your windage torque. And if the translation, if the torsional elasticity in a shaft coupling is present, then we have to consider the coupling torque also, and coupling torque is nothing but the T, which is equal to Ke coupling constant and theta e. Theta e is there, which is torsion angle of coupling in radian. Okay, so from graph we can see these are the three TV, friction torque, standstill torque and TC torque. If we add together, it will look like this. Okay, so if we take an example of a train, then during the standstill condition only the graph is like this. After that it is linearly going because there is a viscous friction is there, windage torque is also present, as well as the gravitational force is also present. Okay, next we will see the nature and classification of load torque. Okay, the nature of the load torque depend on particular application. Okay, low speed hoist, if this hoist is present, this is constructional hoist, this is nothing but the use for the lifting any material, this is also hoist. Okay, so if the hoist, low speed hoist is there, torque is constant and independent of speed. Okay, as speed increases there is a no difference in the torque. So at low speed windage torque is negligible, therefore the net torque is mainly due to the gravity, which is constant and independent of speed. There are drives where Coulomb friction dominated over other the torque components. Consequently, torque is independent of speed. Okay, so this is only present the torque which is present. So which one is dominating? Gravitational force is dominating, because speed is very low. That's why windage torque is also very low. So these are the four types or steady state curves, not types. These are the different types of torque speed curves for a different application. So first we will see TL load torque is proportional to omega m square. Omega m square is nothing but the torque which is proportional to the speed square. So that is nothing but a windage torque is present. Okay, so these are the nothing but example. This is a blower, this is a fan, pumps are there, then aeroplanes are there, ship propeller is there. Okay, so fan, compressor, aeroplanes, pumps, ship propeller, high speed hoists, traction are the example of the case where the load torque is a function of speed square. Okay, in fan and aeroplanes the windage dominates. Yes, consequently the load torque is proportional to speed square, and windage is opposition offered by the air to the motion. Similarly, in a similar nature load torque is present in a, suppose there is a ship propeller is there, then instead of air there is a water will be there, or pumps are there, then centrifugal pumps are there, or ship propeller is there, then water as a fluid which will oppose the motion, and that is acts as a same load torque which is proportional to the omega m square. Okay, then okay, if there is a high speed hoist, then what will happen? Viscous friction and windage torque also will come there. Gravitational force is also there, but windage torque as well as viscous friction will also there. Okay, and next traction load is there. So nature of speed torque characteristics of traction load when moving on a level ground is like this. Okay, so the traction load torque to be function of only speed, because we have assumed that this is a level ground. But in natural practice what will happen? there is a upward and downward slopes are there, turns are present. So on a turns, the force of friction on the wheels will be changes, and as well as upward and downward motion is there or slopes are there, then gravitational force also will act different. So thus traction is an example where the load torque also depend on position and path followed by the load. Okay, so this is one example where position and path also we have to consider. Then last one is the constant power load application. So this is nothing but one coiler. Okay, so this is having constant power requirement. Constant power means your torque and multiplication of omega m square, no, not square, omega m and TL product should be constant. Okay, so this is nothing but the example of coiler, and the graph is almost hyperbolic in nature. Okay, and the developed power is nearly constant for the all speed. As the speed increases, the power is nearly constant for the all speed. Done. Then various load torque can be broadly classified into two categories, active and passive. So what is the active load? Load torque which have the potential to drive the motor under equilibrium condition are called as a active load torque. Okay, for example, gravitational force. Such load torques usually retain their sign when the direction of drive rotation is changed. If your load is going upward, or if your rotation of motor is going in reverse direction, there is a change in the speed is occur, then there is a no change in a gravitational force. Okay, so their signs will be remain constant. Like this, tension is also there, compression is there, torsion undergone by the elastic body came under this category. And what is the passive load torque? A load torque which always oppose the motion and change their sign on the reversal of motion are called passive load torques. Such torques are due to friction, windage and cutting. Means if friction, if you can see the friction and windage, if you are going upward side, then what will happen? Friction will be on opposite side. If the wind is means if the train is going forward direction, of course, as speed increases, wind will be in opposite to the flow of motion. Okay, so these are the two loads torque distribution. Now we will see calculation of time and energy loss in transient operation. Okay, so what is meant by first transient operation? Starting, braking, speed change is there, speed reversal is there. If you want to start the motor or drive, you want to brake the drive, speed changes 1000 to 800 rpm like this. Speed reversal 1000 to minus 1000 rpm. These are nothing but the transient operation. Time and energy loss in a transient operation can be evaluated by this equation. So we already derived this equation. Your torque is nothing but dynamic torque plus load torque plus windage torque. So if we derive this, if we take rearrangement this term, then dt will be equal to j d omega divided by t minus TL. This is our normal equation, first equilibrium equation. T is equal to TL plus j d omega by dt. So if we rearrange this, you will get dt, and if we integrate this equation, you can calculate the time t. So time and energy loss in the transient operation, these are the transient operation, and during that time we can calculate by this formula, energy we can calculate this formula. Okay, and what is the consideration for this? It should be considered over when 95% change in a speed has been taken place. So for example, when a speed change from omega 1 to omega me, speed is changing from omega m1 to omega me. Suppose we will take 200 to 1000 rpm is the change. Then time taken for the speed to change from this omega m1 to omega m1 plus 95% the change in speed. Okay, means this value will be 1000 minus 200, which is nothing but 800. 800 multiply with 95%, 0.95% plus your normal speed. So this will be the consideration time. So what we will do, we will integrate the time equation with omega m1 to omega m2, then you will get a time t. On this we will solve problems on next class. So what is this E? E is nothing but the energy dissipated in a motor winding during a transient operation. So for calculation of energy loss in a transient operation of motor, we have to take 0 to t as the integration time limit. R is the winding resistance and I1 is the current flowing through that winding. So what is the graph is indicating? See, on a x-axis omega m is there, on a y-axis this term is there, and if you plot a graph, then this shaded portion is showing that t is equal to time in a transient operation. Okay, so we will solve problems in next class. Thank you.